So I get this question often about, Jesse, why wouldn't I just pay cash for this thing? So like this week, I just had a client message me saying, hey, the AC went out in the house. It was aggravating. It was frustrating. We just paid for it outright. And when I got this message, I double checked, make sure, okay, so you paid for that AC from your cash flows, from cash money. She said, yeah. And so this is a client that's already been paying, pretty significant premiums on her first policy, but still pretty significant premiums. Also has one on a child. And she'd been building up capital here for a while. And I really appreciate where this client was coming from, because I know lots of other people can relate. Folks that are used to paying cash for things. They don't want to go to the bank. They don't want to have debts. They want to pay cash for things. So they're great in that they're addressing Parkinson's law. They're setting aside capital above and beyond what they need for the regular things. And they were able to stroke the check, as frustrating and as aggravating, maybe disheartening as it was. Life happens, right? So here's what I'm going to say. For things foreseen and unforeseen, it behooves us to privately finance those things. Okay, so I'm going to draw out here a scenario, and I want you to follow along with me for all those that are on this mental wave of, well, I just want to pay cash for things. Okay, so let's do this. Let's look at scenario one, just for conversation's sake. And don't judge my stick figures here. I'm no artist, but here you are. And what you can do, of course, is go to the bank and, ask them permission, see if they will give you the money that you need to replace this air conditioning unit. Okay, so there's these dollars at the bank. And, if the bank qualifies you and they lend you the money, they're going to determine the terms and the conditions, and you're going to be paying them back interest. So you're not just going to be paying the cost, of course, of the air conditioning unit, for example, of course. You're going to be paying interest, so this whole scenario, again, if you qualify, you're jumping through the hoops. You're seeing, who controls this whole process. The bank does, and perhaps there's collateral on the line for lots of things, of course, that we finance with the bank. The majority of the time, our cars, our homes, etc. But you can get the air conditioning taken care of. That's scenario number one, I'm going to say. Okay, so number two is what this client did, and what we're addressing here is, the normal thing is that we use our money that we've set aside in a coffee can, in a savings account, in a hole in the yard, whatever. We've set this money aside somewhere. Now here, we're just going to pay for the air conditioner, which is cool in a lot of ways. Here's one, because a lot of times when you can pay cash money up front, you can get a discount on something, okay? Because you're paying for it all up front. So that is great. Love that. Also, you're not paying interest to the bank like you were in the first scenario, so that's another step in the right direction. And this client actually did tell me that they were able to get, a better deal, or told they were able to get a better deal by paying cash money for this air conditioned unit right here. Which is great, but here's what we need to notice is that in both of these scenarios, okay, we get the air conditioner. Sure. Step number two, paying cash for things. It's a step in the right direction for the things that I've mentioned. How many jobs? Here's a big question. How many jobs did these dollars accomplish in either of these scenarios? One of them is better than the other. You're not paying out interest to the bank and other things that we've talked about just now, but how many jobs? Okay, only the one job was accomplished. You did get the air conditioner unit. Now in scenario one, actually there were two jobs, but not for you. So the dollars in each of these scenarios only accomplished the one job for you. In scenario one, the bank was very profitable, wasn't it? Okay, it controlled the terms, collateral on the line, it earned interest, so very profitable for the bank. Okay, and they do this banking thing all day, every day. Okay, well, there's a better way. Okay, you privatize your own banking entity by taking your dollars. Okay, so still doing the things that cash people do. Beating Parkinson's, not spending more than you make. Okay, and you put dollars aside for the things in life. Okay, now of course the question is where do you put those dollars? Well, these dollars, I'll put another one in there because we want to get as many in here as we can. This is a private entity of yours. It's a properly structured whole life policy with a mutual company that pays dividends. Okay, this ultimate asset, this optimal asset, this is a compounding self-collateral. All right, so I've already mentioned a couple things like collateral. What's the collateral in scenario number 3 that makes it preferential? The death benefit. It's already in the asset itself. It self-collateralizes. The compounding that takes place in scenario 1 at the bank for the owners of that bank now takes place in this privatized banking entity. See, this policy, this properly structured whole life policy, who owns it? You. Who controls it? You. Who can get access to that capital? You're not asking for permission. You're going to say, how much of that capital that you build up do you want to access that's available? And where do you want them to send it to? You want to check in the mail? You want it wired to you? You want it direct deposited into a bank account so that you can go out and get this air conditioner unit? So, because that's ultimately what we're going to do. We're going to go out and get the air conditioning unit just like we did. But again, let me go back to my macro level question, my big 30,000 foot level question of how many tasks, how many jobs did the dollars in scenario 3 accomplish? In 1 and 2, it was just the one job of getting the air conditioner. Okay, so did we get the air conditioner in scenario 3? Yep, we've got that. But was there more accomplished? There sure was. And there are lots of things that we could talk about, but let me just say that every dollar that does go through this privatized banking system is compounding forever into the future on weekends, holidays, okay? And it is growing. It's compounding and growing for your whole life. Every dollar that gets put into this privatized banking system. That sounds like a lot more getting accomplished, okay, when you're becoming your own banker and you have this privatized banking system. So we get the air conditioner in all 3 of these scenarios. The bank's very profitable in the first scenario if they decide that they want to let us use the money. In scenario 2, we're being proactive, we're being intentional, but we are missing out. We are missing out on profitability. So what I'm asking you is to consider whether you're vetting this idea of becoming your own banker, or you're still, or you're already a client, even like this lady was. And just realize that how we think about financing things in life, because we don't think about financing things in life. We're either used to going to the bank and taking out a bank loan if they'll let us, or we're used to saving up cash money for the things that we want to do. Okay. What I'm saying is you can become your own banker. You can have the ownership. You can have the control, and you can have the profitability. Okay, there are levels of understanding this infinite banking concept. There are levels to understanding what it means to come out of the matrix and to be approaching life, financing things for yourself, and having the profitability of being your own banker. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you'd like to learn more, check us out at our website, www.durhamtalents.com. We have a free presentation there where you can be introduced wholly to this concept. Also, that's where you can get on my calendar where we can have a conversation about your particular financial situation or questions. And I look forward to that conversation. Have a great day. Take care.